Maria, welcome to the hot seat. It's a
Thank you
pleasure
so
to have
much.
you with us here today.
Same
How I
here.
want to start this episode is going to be a little bit different than the usual. I would love to know who is Maria beyond the job title.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Well, before the job title, I'm someone that pours her heart into everything she does. Um, I'm really passionate about growth, so unlocking potential in people, in teams, and businesses. I'm also very competitive, and I thrive in fast-paced environments. Um, and I'm, of course, as well, primarily a mom. So I'm a mom of two, and it has redefined my life entirely.
A boy or girl?
A boy and a girl,
Oh,
one of
lucky.
each. And yeah, they are my ultimate happiness. And it's also competitive, and it's also challenging. So you get to,
It's a full-time job, they say.
Yeah.
So how do you handle both? Like,
I do my best. I think there's no formula. Some weeks are better in each of the side, and sometimes not sometimes. I think it's a constant prioritization. So sometimes your business needs you more, sometimes your kids need you more, and then you really need to keep the ball rolling in both. So you learn to be very efficient.
okay.
That's, I would say, is like the main.
So going back to your career, how
Yeah.
did you end up in tech and mobility?
Very good question. So I joined Uber after my INSEAD MBA. So I graduated from INSEAD in 2019. And surprisingly, I didn't necessarily chase tech.
Okay.
What I was chasing was more spaces where I can make change quickly. And when you think about it, mobility is really one of those rare industries that moves millions of people. So think cities, families, employees. And Uber was kind of the bridge between both. So Uber sits at the intersection of operations, technology, people, real world impact. And I think it bridges the gap between people and opportunities. This is what really attracted me to tech and mobility, I would say more specifically.
What do you do on a day to day? Because I feel like everyone knows what we'll go.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll jump into that question later on. But
Yeah.
what I want to know today is like, how does a day look like in your world? Like you are the general manager of
Yes, of Uber for Business in East and Africa. So a day in the life of Maria. Of course, after I drop the kids to school, I sit first on my laptop. I usually spend like 30 minutes going through my day and making sure that all the calls I need to be done today are there. Because your priorities change, and sometimes there are last minute things that you need to do. And then I adjust my calendar accordingly. I usually have 6 to 7 calls a day. They are not always all as necessary, I would say,
Yes.
but because we are quite remote as well, and I have teams around the region, I really need those to continue, to continue the pace. On the way, you respond to emails here and there. Something comes up, and every quarter has its priorities. So according to that, also my weeks are usually defined. And then there are always like last minute things. I spend a lot of time on Slack, so it's an internal tool that we use.
Yeah.
Honestly, most of my work is done on Slack outside calls. So, and usually it's really about problem solving. And I spend a lot of time problem solving things. My team need to move faster, to move more efficiently internally, to go over like a certain layer of approvals that are needed. And also, I spend, I would say, 30% of my time client facing with the team on a weekly basis.
30%.
30% of my time. Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's important. Clients like to see a senior face, and I really enjoy it. No, that's
especially in this region.
Especially in this region. That's really how you get to know firsthand who you're dealing with and what are the market insights.
So for people that don't know,
yes,
what does Uber for Business
mean? Yeah. So Uber for Business is the enterprise arm of Uber. So think of the same Uber that people know personally, that they use on a daily basis, except we make it work at scale for organizations. So we move people and businesses efficiently and smartly every day. This is what we do.
It's pretty much the same as Uber.
So it's exactly the same application where you would be able to switch between your personal and your business profile. The moment you switch into your business profile, we remove all the operational and administrative burden from both the employee and the business. And we combine all of that into we basically remove all the headache from companies in managing mobility. We and think about receipts, lack of visibility, too much spend leakage, poor employee experience. We make it all simpler in an automated way, in one automated dashboard.
So would you say that the biggest issue that you're solving is to automate all of these admin bits?
Yes, primarily, yes.
Secondarily?
Yeah, and secondarily, I think we're moving from a more cost-centric approach within organizations on mobility to more of a strategic asset. And so what we're solving is the incorporation of mobility solutions into the everyday life of companies in a seamless manner. So and it touches multiple teams. So we touch procurement, we touch finance, we touch operations, we touch HR. So depending on each company, so it's really across the board. It's helping many people, many companies, I would say, and people within companies solve that.
Let's say me as a leader tomorrow, I get onboarded on Uber for Business. What is the thing that I'm going to be the most surprised about?
How much time and money you are losing. And usually the wow effect leaders have when they see the dashboard are like, this is it? It's that simple? And yes, it is. The fact that we are so scalable and flexible, automated, and sustainability is also at the center of everything we do within the dashboard. So this is really an added value I would say Uber has compared to other brands in the market.
Would you consider the Middle East and Africa then an easy region to work on? How do you find your experience in the region?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's quite exciting because I love leading a complex region, but it's hard. It's not always easy because first the regulatory environment is difficult to navigate, especially in industries like ours. I would also say there is a big cultural diversity, despite that people from the outside would think, the GCC, it's a common culture. Yes, maybe from a hospitality perspective or a personal perspective. But if you compare the Riyadh customers versus a Dubai customer, it's not the
100% different.
So it's not at all the same. So you need to, you navigate that. And then you navigate also, it's not really a navigation, but it's a highly relationship-driven market, which I value a lot because I think people buy from people they trust. And many companies can more or less provide similar solutions to yours, but it really takes time to trust and connect someone that wants the best for your company. And the fourth thing I would say is, the speed. They want everything yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's high expectations, a big sense of urgency. So really delivering fast, but really it's what I love about it. It's what makes it so exciting. Every day at Uber is a new day. Every day there's a new challenge. Every day there's something, like a fire to tame.
So when you say that every day there is a new challenge, which one is the most underrated challenge that we're facing in the region?
I think most people and companies think it's congestion, right? People talk, there's congestion everywhere, and how do you know?
Because it's a big one.
It's a big one. But again, at the risk of sounding redundant, it's really I would say, before saying what it is, it's the most invisible challenge, but it costs millions, and it's how much companies spend time managing mobility. So it becomes with scale, when you have hundreds, tens, 20s, then hundreds of people. And then at scale, when you want to manage mobility, you are literally ending up paying someone a valuable resource, managing these stuff manually, when you are taking away from more productive and value-based work. So So this is, I would say, is really the most underrated challenge. And again, like I told you, they save 20% of their cost immediately. And when you dig down into organizations, you'd be very surprised.
Let's dig down.
Yes, I'd
So
love to.
how is mobility changing in the corporate world?
More flexible. Definitely more flexible with also hybrid work. So we are moving from a more static model. You know, they used maybe to buy cars, buy fleets, have drivers that come from 7 to 7 to pick up people around the clock. No. Now with flexible work, corporate mobility is really about instant flexibility, which is why Uber on demand fits that model. The second thing that we really see, we've been seeing for a while, and I believe it's here to stay, is duty of care, safety. Very important, at the heart and topic of like every single organization. Third, sustainability. So everybody wants to also contribute to the sustainability goals, especially in regions like Dubai now, that is at the forefront of like sustainability and electrification mobility, and soon maybe Riyadh, and of course like the world is looking at that. And fourth, I would say also like automation and more personable experience. So yeah, those are the 4 points.
Yeah, that's super interesting because like I feel like we use Uber daily.
Yeah.
And it's such a thing that you use on your daily basis that you never realize how much impact it could have on a corporate environment, you know. Like we're talking about 20% sustainability saving, personalized experience, and so all of these things
absolutely
are only if you work in corporate you get to know that, right?
And by the way, fun fact is that the Uber for Business like solutions we provide and the dashboard, which is quite comprehensive, so we give all that data like cost control, visibility, sustainability, etc., is actually free of charge. So what companies pay Uber is really it's a consumption-based model. So whether they're on Uber for Business or not, what the fee of the ride is the same, except as a company they're gaining a whole of that consolidation and centralization and technology. So I'm passionate about this, and because I feel it's like really you are becoming part of the everyday need of people to move around while being the most cost efficient in the best possible way. So it's
that's
nice.
brilliant because I don't think data nowadays is everything, right? It's gold, I would say. So the fact that you provide data to your customer for free, I mean,
right?
What do you want?
Wouldn't you?
So let's talk about AI then, the hot topic.
Yes.
How do you guys use AI nowadays?
Okay, so we started using AI, I think a year and a half ago, maybe more, but nowadays more. So I'll talk first about Uber for Business and then maybe give a bit of an overview on Uber as a whole. So at Uber for Business, of course, we're B2B, we're the B2B arm of Uber. So we think of AI in driving efficiency first in like sales productivity. And this is where we look at tools like, for example, Salesforce Copilot. So it helps identify the buyer, the right POC, write automated emails in literally 10 seconds on the tool based on the profile of the person that we have written within the tool that we're using. So let's say Salesforce, where we integrate all of it's our system that we use to track our opportunities. And then we have like Salesforce Copilot. It has helped increase productivity massively. So when you think about a salesperson that's reaching out to so many leads, maybe 30, 40 leads per week, and imagine how much more efficient that is. And it's adaptable to the persona. The number 2 thing we use is like Gemini, because we're Google users. So, and Gemini, the way I use it, at least as a manager, like I really use it to compare performances. And it helps me drive dialogue and conversations in my one-on-one with my team. So I compare tons of reports and forecast sheets to really make sure we're following the right processes in place, the rhythm is there, the velocity, very important. And then I think my team also uses stuff like, for example, Comet. Have you heard of Comet?
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite cool. So it also helps them, compare lots of things and take notes. And it works like ChatGPT, but you have to basically input your own stuff. And it can do things in parallel on your laptop without even you using your mouse. Like it's quite impressive. It has massively increased our productivity.
Hot topic, yeah. And also you were saying that you use Slack a lot.
Yes.
And Slack,
Slack is also all of them. Think also Zoom Info, Lucia, all these tools that salespeople use across the globe are now have AI integrated into it.
Yeah. When it comes to innovation,
yes,
we pretty much covered everything. But would you say that is something that distinguishes you from your competitor?
Yeah, I would, and I'll tell you why. At Uber, and this might sound arrogant, but we don't believe we have one global competitor. Nobody can really do what Uber does. I think we have multiple local competitors, and they try as much as they can. But what Uber is so good at, and this is how we also innovate, is that we go back to the basics and we improve it constantly. And our innovation doesn't lie in we launched the most exciting product. No, it's really improving the basics so well by sometimes it's little tweaks that Uber becomes indispensable. And even on safety, the fact that we're publicly listed and we grew so big right now, it's really at the core of everything we do. And even in safety, we're innovating. Like now we're asking for facial recognitions from drivers. We ask them to update their IDs every month. This used to be once a year. And there's a lot of things depending on the regulatory.
Why every month was?
And no, because sometimes it helps fraud detection.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe making sure that whoever is the driver is the assigned driver.
The driver
yes,
is the 100%.
Same. Okay. Yeah.
Because it happened in the past
course.
that people.
Yeah, it happens, and not only on Uber, on any other channel. We see that a lot. We don't have Uber Eats here, and the delivery vertical, but across the world, we have Sephora now on Uber Eats. It's amazing. So,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to spend money.
Yeah.
We always talk about innovation, but I feel like the most important pillar behind innovation are the people. So that's why you're here today, because I think you are inspiring, and the job that you and the team are doing is incredible in this region. So how would you describe with one sentence your leadership style?
I'm direct, I'm hands-on, and I lead with heart. I definitely hold my team to high standards, accountable to high standards, but I genuinely support them even higher.
And what is then one of the lessons that you've learned in the hard way in your role?
Yes, I've learned many. Many, okay. Even on the personal side. They're always intertwined. Anything you learn in one or in your professional personal side has a ripple effect on the other. But the one thing is that clarity is kinder than protection. So it's more compassionate, and you are a better friend, a better manager, if you are very clear on your expectations, first to yourself and towards others, than thinking you're protecting someone's ego, I would say, and saying this is very good, or this is how it works. No, sometimes being transparent is more loving than being protective.
Yeah, I have to learn that still. It's one of the
I'm still learning, but it's hard. But
it's super hard.
I really learned it the hard way.
Actually, I have a question here for you that is what did you have to unlearn to grow in a senior role?
You might relate as a girl, as a woman, but people pleasing, oof. At least in our cultures, it's ingrained, it's embedded in our DNA from day one. You cannot please everyone at work. Sometimes you have to and by the way, mostly your team. Because in teams, I always say being a good manager is being a good psychologist. You manage so many different personas and characters, and each one has their own success agenda, right? And you're bringing all these people together and driving them into one vision and making it efficient and effective, and also unlocking people's potential. So you have to create an environment where everybody grows. And in that environment, it's really hard because some of them might not be happy with some of the decisions you make that you know are for the ultimate best of your team.
Yeah.
But it takes a bit of experience and time to really consistently trust that inner judgment, like this is the right decision, just do it. And it's okay, you know, some might not like it, but they need to respect it. And they might see one day that it was for the better of the business. So this is one. And the other one is over-explaining. I had the tendency like, this is what happened, and like, this is why. No. No, it's like, this is what happened, and
That's it.
That's it. And I have a plan about it if you're interested to hear. And like, okay, I'm still learning that, by the way, sometimes. But and I learn a lot from my peers in other regions, you know, where the dynamics very different in our part of the world.
Yeah.
Also in our traditions, like we like to talk.
It's super different. We like to have coffee, to talk in person for.
Yeah, and then intro, context, conclusion to everything you do, and then someone's like, this is it. So yeah.
So what's your honest feedback to a woman that would love to enter the tech industry nowadays?
Yeah, what I would love to tell a woman that's entering tech is go somewhere you can grow and not where you feel safe. Because your voice might be shaky at the beginning, but just take a seat. Take a seat at the table. It's important.
Have you ever felt like uncomfortable or like?
This is where you grow the most. Like when I took on this role, okay, Uber for Business, and maybe we're going to talk about this later, but Uber for Business was nothing when I joined. It was non-existent. So I joined what we call a growth bet in our region and in the world for Uber. And right now, like, you know, we've had to transform it into a core business unit and function of Uber globally. And this role I am today never existed before. So we grew so much at the beginning. We, as in like two people, were growing the team.
It was two of you in the team.
Two of you.
What was your role when you entered?
So I was looking after the largest partnership of Uber globally. It's called the Wusul program. It's a partnership for women in Saudi Arabia, where the government subsidizes 80% of every single work trip a Saudi woman takes to and from work. And we have scaled massively. Like, I'm not going to give numbers now, even though technically we're public, so I'm allowed to do it. But so,
and the government will cover 80% of the trip.
And they're still covering. And something I'm very proud of is that thanks to that, like to Uber enabling our technology, enabling that program with transparency and like being able to apply like that % discount on trips, etc. The employment rate for women in Saudi went from 21% in 2017 to 38% in 2024. We were unbelievably proud of this, and Uber has helped enable so much of this. So when I talk to you about like impact and Uber for Business, it's really, you know, it's a proud journey for us. So yes, many moments I was shaky, many moments I was uncomfortable. I stepped into this role, I had no clue, like now managing all that region and like, how am I going to do? And then you just start. And then this is where your confidence also grows with it, like daily basis. And because Uber is so like mobile and fun and like happening and real tangible impact. Like you make a decision today, tomorrow you see supply demand. Like you can immediately understand like the impact it's having. You learn quickly on the job. So just do it. You know, you just need to take a seat and do it.
So a question about the future now. What is the biggest misconception about the future of mobility?
I think people believe that, you know, the human experience will be removed on like mobility, and that everything will be autonomous. That's totally wrong. I think the future of mobility is around safety, continue to be, flexibility and sustainability, and then everything that powers on the back, whereas it's like AI or even on autonomous, will be to answer those criteria. Mobility is at the center and the heart of everything. metro, Ubers, taxis, your car. What do you care about? Being safe, being flexible, and eventually being sustainable. And this is what we really work towards.
What do you think about this taxi there, like without a driver?
Autonomous vehicles. I think it's really interesting. We launched in Saudi and in Abu Dhabi too, a few cars. Um, I think it's still something new, and something new is always exciting. Now, will I go in today, me personally, and forget Uber, like irrespective of the company, because today on autonomous, I just want to mention something. Uber is actually the platform where we are integrating multiple autonomous providers. We are not
Okay.
building our own autonomous cars. Yes.
Yeah, because in San Francisco, as you said, it's super popular.
Yeah.
People are using it like with nonchalance.
Yeah,
Let's say,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
And what
100%.
about flying taxi? Everyone talks about it. Is it really gonna happen, or
Look, yeah, I think it would. It will.
it's gonna take a lot of time?
Yeah, it's gonna take time, but yeah, I see a world where we have flying taxis. Not everywhere in the world, but wherever, few cities, I would say, where it's available. Yeah, it will everything at its price.
Yeah.
So it will have a market and a niche market for it. Then yeah, why not?
Finally, I wanna ask you something a bit more
Yeah.
personal. So, what would you like your career to stand for?
I'd love to leave a place better than I found it. I know it sounds cliche, but it would really make me happy to say, and to hear someone say, oh, that's the legacy Maria left, a few years back when she built XYZ with her team. And I mentioned this before, but again, it's something I'm passionate about, creating environments where people can be their best. And also, maybe to top it off, it's that you can be very kind in your leadership and bold and deliver exceptional results. They don't need to be different. I think kindness really goes a long way. I've heard people telling me before, oh, I know, enough being, little miss, it was a joke, like little miss sunshine, as in too kind, too understanding, but there's no such thing. Because too kind, too understanding makes your team want to work even more because they trust you, that you have their best interest at heart, and then it has a ripple effect. So that's how I would like to be remembered.
And I think you're doing a great job on that, and I agree with you. Like, I'm also always positive. I believe in everyone, and I trust that in good, right? And I feel like it helps me on my day-to-day business.
I agree.
I don't find it like. I mean, it would stress me more to believe that daily, to wake up and feel like that everyone is bad around me. Like I'm like, why would I want that? I'm not the type of person. So yeah,
100%.
If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing in life?
I would be a dancer.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah. I love ballet.
Okay,
it was a big part of my life.
You've been doing that in the past, right?
Yes,
because I can see your posture and your physique.
I've danced for 17 years, and it was. I danced a lot. I love it. I'm so passionate about it. It makes my soul so happy. In another life, I would definitely be a dancer.
So it's one of your kids doing ballet?
Not yet. She's too small, but very soon. Actually, a fun fact: my son has like incredible ballet feet, and I always tell my husband like he's such a natural born dancer. And yeah, maybe also if he wants one day to dance, who knows? But yeah.
Yeah, why not? That's brilliant. I've always been into singing, but yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing today because my voice. I'm sick. If not, I would have given you guys a show. But I'm joking. And yeah, I mean, we always ask last question to all of the guests. That is like, who would you like to see in the podcast next? Someone that inspires you, or someone that is a mentor to you, or like. Just don't say Elon Musk or...
No. Actually, no. I've heard him so many times on YouTube. It's enough. Michelle Obama.
Okay, easy one to invite. Why not?
Yeah, she's amazing. She's a big inspiration. I don't know if you've read her book, Becoming. It really spoke to me a lot. What I love about her is that she's so real and
Real.
true to herself. And if you read her book, it's actually, the chapters do not necessarily follow each other. She really spoke about how she was raised, the stuff she went through, and maybe if there's like one more minute, there's a story that really, stuck with me a few years ago. So when she started, back in the 80s, Black woman in the US, she was studying law, and opportunities weren't there yet, for people like, Michelle Obama. And she got pregnant and she delivered, and her eldest daughter was 4 months old. And then she had this amazing interview at this amazing law firm in the US. I forgot the name. And it was her dream come true, to work for such a law firm again, back in the time where it was milestone for her to work in companies like this. So she took her daughter to the interview in the 80s. And what she basically said, like, I showed up authentically to who I am. This is who I am. I'm a mom of a 4-month-old kid. And I'm here to do this interview, and this is how you will take me. If you accept me, this is, sometimes I'll have to be home. I have a 4-month-old daughter who's gonna need me, and of course now I'm like summarizing, but it really, we all have a.
She got the job.
Yeah, she got the job, and we all have a life, and it was a big lesson in her book. She says, like, I showed up authentically, and of course she was worried and afraid, and it's not like she was very confident, but she had no choice, and it worked. So this is how she used this. She uses it as a lesson. Even as a mom, I listen to a lot of the stuff she says. Your job is not to make your kids happy. It's like really to make them a human being that can handle today's world. And she's right. As a mom, I am starting to relate a lot to some of the stuff she says.
Do you find that there are certain skills that you have in your day-to-day you have a quite high position at Uber for business, right? So do you use some of these skills in your day-to-day life with your kids or vice versa? I would say, like sometimes you might be using
prioritization. Like really, number one, I've learned as a mom that has helped me a lot at work. Prioritization, but it's hard, don't take it lightly. When you have so many responsibilities, you end up thinking everything is a priority, and then no, not everything is a priority. It's actually harder to say what not to do versus what to do. And this is the exercise. What don't you do this week? What needs less of your time? So yes, this, and which in turn makes me more efficient. And I would say the multimodal brain, like managing everything at the same time. And personalities, managing people, managing kids is you learn life all over again. Also. And it's the same with people that are so diverse, and I always find the similarities in what I do.
I'm interested in knowing, because you seem like a super kind person, quiet, calm. How do you handle conflict? Because I'm sure there are a lot of conflict, both in the personal and when it comes to daily with kids, and with your team.
Really, transparency. I really wear my heart on my sleeve. I can't keep anything inside, and I think it ruins people relationships, both at work and at home. If something doesn't sit well, I call the person. At work, I just call. I pick up the phone and I call them. Hey, that's what happened. 1, 2, 3. Are you okay? Like, is there something you want to tell me? Let's work it out. And in my personal life, it's definitely the same. I can't be around people if there's unclear or unspoken words. Yeah, this is how I handle conflict, with transparency and care.
Yeah, I mean, you seem super confident, and it must be, I'm not saying easy, because it's not easy for anyone to deal with conflict, but it's something that you learn to do.
It's something that you learn.
What about the person that receives this call?
When you've established the intentions, okay, it's like a partner or a business partner. When you want to say something, the foundation that is, I'm coming from the best place to work this out. Sometimes when people are not willing to receive it, you just need to reiterate this. I have your best interest at heart, and I'm calling you. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be having that conversation. Because I care, we're talking about this right now, and this is how it happened to me, or this is how I received like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you discuss it, and very, very openly. I don't have that many conflicts. I have a lot of like business conflicts, but it's never personal, and it's a way of working. So those are like easier to work out, because business is business, right? And you have to be able to detach. It's nothing personal. Sometimes stuff happens and you need to deal with them. I care in those situations. I care a lot about accountability. It's the number one rule that I tell my team. You did a mistake, it's fine. Everybody does a mistake. And at Uber, it's something I love. Like, just, okay, this is not going well. This is why, but this is what I'm going to do about it. And it's totally okay. Like, no one has a career without mistakes, and no one can have a perfectly linear curve. No, and not. It's cycles, and I really abide by that, both in my personal and professional life. By the way, I'm not that confident, but I'm really a person that trusts. I trust the world. I trust the universe. I trust my team. I trust the people around me, and I think this is what gives me. It gives back in a certain way, and it keeps me going. And this is how I grow my confidence. Like, when I make decisions, I trust my gut. Sometimes it might not be the right decision, but I don't know. I just learn to, lead from my heart.
Well, you've done, confidence comes from result most of the time.
Also,
and
of course.
You've proven to yourself, right, that you're leading one of the biggest companies in the region. So when it comes to that, I'm sure that you are super confident.
I'm proud, and
you should, definitely.
I'm also grateful that I'm surrounded by incredible people at Uber that inspire me every day, and many, many women that are so incredible, really. And I'm grateful for that. Like, I learn a lot from people around me.
Yeah, the message that you shared today is quite important for me as well, because I feel like, especially in this region, still nowadays we see woman as one or the other, like either the mother or the
work, whatever,
the career-driven person. So, and it's quite tough, like
it's really tough,
especially to do both. I would say, because it's not that. We've always been fighting about the fact that we want to do both, but at the end of the day, it's like,
I told you, you do it. It's fluctuating.
As it comes.
It's never 100%. It's as it comes. You do your best, and when you do your best, I don't know, results
comes. So it was amazing to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
And, I hope in the future we can have a second episode where you're gonna discuss with us all about AI and.
I would love to. I think very quickly,
maybe stories that
AI is moving so fast. Like, I'll be able to share more when I can. Of course, with pleasure.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you as well for having me.